All right, Patrick Reusse. We haven't talked a lot about this team in these Rap with Reusse sessions, but I think it's time. I think it's time. 8-1. You got 2 road resume building wins already before the first of the year. Ben Johnson's Gophers, Pat.
It's pretty phenomenal, and 3 more road wins so far than we had last season with the 0-10 road record. So that's it's pretty phenomenal. I was okay. I saw them against Michigan State, and they got it down to 8 at the end, but they were 15 down, and they had really a lot of trouble with Michigan State's stout defense. So I was impressed, but I wasn't blown away until they go to Michigan and win. I don't understand how this can possibly be happening. The only solution I can think of is you got 5 seniors, and they don't throw the ball away. They've had 7 turnovers in their last 2 games, which is absolutely phenomenal. And I said yesterday that if you don't turn it over, you can't get clobbered, can you? I mean, you can lose, but you can't. You're not going to get beat by 30 if you don't throw the ball away. And they're amazing with their 7 turnovers in 2 games. That we might have to go back 50 years to find that. It's unbelievable.
Iron 6, Patrick. The Iron 6.
and one of the 6 is Eric Curry, who's on 6 knee surgeries, playing 30 minutes a night.
Oh, the kid from the Sutherland kid, who's the 6th guy and basically a starter because he plays 25 minutes and they let him take shots. He didn't start all the games for New Hampshire last year. He's from New Hampshire. And, Battle's a really good player. And I wonder why he ended up having to go to George Washington, why he wasn't recruited out of high school here, because you would have thought that he probably would have wanted to come here. But
that would require the former head coach picking up the phone once in a while.
Yeah, it could have been. But, his sister's a star out at Hopkins, and she's coming to the U. She's one of the 4 Minnesota girls coming to the U. So obviously the Battles have a connection to Minnesota, but he might be all Big Ten. He's really good, and I don't know. It's phenomenal. Everything. My introduction to Ben Johnson is when he was a player, and I've talked to him a few times, but I haven't been hanging around him. But the 2 or 3 times I've been around him and listened to him, I'm really impressed because it's kind of this hardcore, but not pushing you off when he's doing it. But it's a hardcore approach to basketball. We beat Michigan. Let's celebrate for 3 minutes and get ready for the next one against hated Corpus Christi or something like that. He's really he's much more. We forget that he's 41 years old. He's 10 years older than when Richard Pitino coached his first game for the Gophers. He's been around, and you can see that in him. He's a very mature guy. He's got Dave Thorson with him, who's a defensive whiz. This guy knows his hoops, and to get him a defensive game plan for every game, and it's pretty fun because I was predicting that by the middle of the Big Ten season, there'd be 4,000 people at Williams Arena. It might be 12, because people are into this. Nothing better than unexpected success. That's what Reusse's always said. Right?
Yeah. And it feels like because he's a Minnesota guy, he played Minnesota. Dave Thorson, too, is so invested in the success of Minnesota basketball. They're just, and obviously they could lose 6 games in a row and we could just be like, whatever. But it feels like there's almost like a personal investment for these guys in the success of the program that maybe didn't exist with Richard Pitino.
And, going back to, Clem was around long enough to become personally invested, right? To the point that he got their term papers written for him, but which is probably not unique. But I think that can go back to Munson. Munson didn't want to leave Gonzaga. We just gave him too much money, right? He'd only been there a couple of years, and Tubby, trying to land on his feet because he was going to get run out of Kentucky. And now he's at High Point, not winning, by the way. So, these guys are certainly, they take it, as you said, Phil, they take it a little more personally here that the Gophers being bad. But it'll be interesting if they got 4 kids coming in, 3 Minnesota kids, but I don't think there's a 4-star in the bunch. And the kid that they just got from out of state is kind of one of those emerged in the summer but wasn't hard recruited guy. So they're going to be blue collar again next year. It's not like they're going to all of a sudden be filled with Tyus Jones and guys like that, because that crew's kind of gone for Minnesota basketball now. You don't have Holmgren and Suggs, the number 1 players in the country. Those guys aren't. Minnesota has nice players now, but they don't have those players.
I got 2 words, boys. Transfer portal. That's what I want from now on. Just put the team together. You go get those old guys that can play a ton. Transfer portal. 18, 19, screw them. I want the 22-year-old kid who's got experience who will come in and just kick some ass and then leave after a year.
People rip the Yankees for building teams through free agency, right? You know what?
That's college sports.
The Gophers are the Yankees of college basketball.
The biggest
transfer portal, you baby.
The biggest change of my life in college sports was Title IX, right? Because we 1972, right? We're coming up on the 50th anniversary here, 50th anniversary.
Yep.
The second is the transfer portal.
Yep.
It's the free transfer thing. So there's recruiting, which we had the surveys of, there's 25 websites out there that make their living by telling us who the number 1 recruits in the country are now. And you're getting these guys for 1 year, and you get a transfer. He's got 2 years of eligibility left, like Battle. He can't go anywhere. They can't get the free transfer. You got to get the guy who's using up his free transfer, right?
Yes.
Of course, then you throw in a little pandemic, and these guys can play for the rest of their life. What the Gopher football's now got 4 guys coming back for their 6th season, right? 6th season. And I told you this Taylor Lantford, the very outstanding Gopher volleyball player who was hurt this year. She's going to be a 3rd-year freshman next fall.
She's going to graduate as a freshman.
She had the COVID. Yeah, she'll be getting. If she's a typically bright volleyball player, she's probably going to be in grad school by next winter.
She's going to walk. She'll walk and she'll still be an athletic freshman. Get her diploma. Congratulations.
It is the craziest thing of all time. You can't make any determinations on who's going to be good. No. Alabama will be and stuff like that, but you can't make. Northwestern, people couldn't figure out why they were so rotten when they won the Big Ten last year. They won the Big Ten West, right? And the reason was none of their players came back. They didn't have those guys, they didn't come back for their 5th years because they're Northwestern guys. They want to go make money. They want to get in the business world. So it's a strange world we live in, but it's kind of fun. Kind of fun.
By the way, we do have breaking news here. I saw Declan just put this up on the SKOR North Twitter account. Back to Gopher basketball. The Gophers right now are slated in Joe Lenardi's bracketology as an 11 seed.
11? We should be higher than that.
Put some respect
no respect.
On Ben Johnson's
no
name.
respect.
Put some respect on Ben Johnson, okay?
It's unbelievable. They make the NCAA tournament. We'll be having to rip this guy's contract up.
That's right.
Remember we thought on his resume, he probably wasn't a $2 million coach, right? Didn't they give him 2? I think they gave him 2 a year, right? 5 years. We're going to have to rip that up and give him a new one here if this team makes the NCAA tournament. It's just incredible. It really is. It is kind of fun because the crowd for the Michigan State game was pretty pumped up. They only announced 11 something, but it was a lively crew compared to what you thought we'd be seeing this year. That's for sure.
Yeah, let's get it. Pat, the Vikings are stuck in basically half of the NFC is 6-7 right now,
Yes.
including the Vikings here. So how do you handicap it? 2 games against the Bears in the last 4.
Yeah, they got to win 3, right? They got to get to 9. Although, who knows? Maybe 8 and 9 tiebreak. I don't think they have all the tiebreakers, so I don't think they could probably make it at 8 and 9. But they got to win 3. But they should beat the Bears twice. So, the Rams have been very unpredictable, but they're looking good right now. How about that Rams team, by the way? Speak of transfers, they got themselves some everybody that's gotten released, or that some veteran that they wanted to get rid of is now playing for the Rams. It's incredible.
Also, Andrew Whitworth is 40 years old. He's the first left tackle to ever play as a 40-year-old in the NFL.
Their last first-round pick that they actually made was Jared Goff. That was the last first-round pick they made.
None left for like 3 more years.
Yeah.
Who do you think that decision is coming from? Is that the coach, or is that
probably the GM, right?
I don't even know who the GM is out there, but I wonder where that the draft means nothing philosophy. I mean, it's George Allen. He coached the Rams and the Redskins and the Rams. That was his theory but that was back when nobody valued draft choices like they do now. So it's you got to think there's an end game to this some year when they're going to wake up and go 2-15, don't you?
Well, and it's interesting because you can sit here. I'm sure a lot of people, like the Rams can't keep doing this. You can't just keep trading first-round picks. Well, if you were to go back the last 6 or 7 years for the Vikings and say, okay, in retrospect, would you have traded Laquan Treadwell's draft slot for a stud player in his prime, or the rights to the Garrett Bradbury draft slot for Jalen Ramsey or something? Like, in retrospect, the Vikings probably could have done more.
The greatest promotion genius thing in sports is the NFL draft. It's unbelievable what a phenomenon, how the NFL has sold this to the public, that it renews the hopes of everyone. Mm-hmm. And so even if you were 3-14, they could convince you that this 5th overall pick that you got is going to transform the whole franchise. It's part of the popularity of the NFL is very much tied to the draft. I think that the fact that they renew. I mean, the Twins just had a lousy year, and by the way, who was their number 1 draft choice? We have no idea, right? We have no. There's no renewal that comes. Even in the NBA, the renewal comes from what, about 7 players? Maybe you get the 7 draft choices you get excited about. NFL, they can convince us that some 6th rounder from, Platteville is going to turn the franchise around. It's incredible.
Pat, they hold a combine, a meat market that excites the fans. Like,
come here, come over here, buddy. I want to squeeze your ass and see if it's hard enough.
Oh, your ass is, but your hands are pretty small, so we're gonna have to lay off you. Sorry.
Yeah, it is an amazing thing that the players are, panting and drooling for the opportunity to get invited to the combine, to be a piece of meat, and have them, lift up your scrotum here. We got to take a look at you.
I didn't know that was part of it. The scrotum lift.
It's unbelievable. It's, what the hell? It's amazing. It's like being signed up for the Marines, isn't it? When you go for your.
Well, I mean, they give you a physical. Don't they give you a physical? I mean, wouldn't that be turn your head and cough?
What would that
right?
Why don't you turn your head a couple more times?
What would that scouting report read like?
Yes, right. Yeah. Well,
I want to see the gravitas. I want to see the Sam Cassell dance in the flesh.
Hey,
that's what I want to see.
Update on Boud's foul mouth. Because we were talking about talking about this the other day. Boud's the great GIF out there him shouting an F-bomb and having the guy put darn.
Yeah.
So I started looking up Boone's YouTubes on his tirade, that 24/7. Now that's 2010.
Oh, that's great.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah.
It can't be a minute long. 15. I counted them.
Yeah.
15.
We used to have that clip in the system deck. So
15 F-bombs
fully
and a
edited.
couple of S-bombs in there too. It's like he comes in and says, okay, sit down here, huddle up here, fellas, for a minute. And he's very calm, and then they just come flying out.
I think
Looks
Mom
so
objected
down.
I think Mom objected strongly too, Bood said. Mom was not amused by Bood's use of the F-bombs.
Well, he probably calms it down around the home, but it's hockey, but it was phenomenal. I never watched that one with Boudreaux, but now if I could, I'd go back and watch it. But it was a 6 episode build up for the New Year's Day game or something.
Yeah.
Correct.
And the end,
Correct.
if I remember right, the end. So he goes on this rant, right? And then he leaves the room, and then one of the players goes, "Come on, boys!" Like taps his stick.
boys.
Come on, boys! Here we go.
Yeah, that was the one. That's the one. It's unbelievable.
It's such a great sport.
Oh,
Such a great swearing sport.
it is.
There's nothing like it.
But we're trying to calm down the screaming at each other. You're right, though, Judd. We were talking about it yesterday that I don't think the referees are closely monitoring what these guys are yelling at each other over the boards.
There's no taunting calls, Pat.
It's a great hockey tradition, that's for sure.
Yeah, we had a taunting. I think it was the Niners game. It was like a 10-6 game at the time, and somebody intercepted a pass or something and just kind of like put the ball out and like looked at the opponent and 15 yards. Who's asking for this to be enforced? The fans aren't.
No, it's ridiculous. Well, there was the one where the guy, they said he stepped towards the other team's bench. He was on the far sideline.
Who cares?
He took like 4 steps. He was 40 yards away from him. It wasn't exactly threatening.
Yeah.
They're just looking for it. NFL officials. Oh God.
I could see if this was European soccer, or some of these leagues where like brawls are starting out in the stadium, and if you don't get the players to calm down, it's like I don't know. It feels like overpolicing.
Soccer is. You know what's silly about soccer? All the flopping that can determine the outcome of a game by falling. But why do they have? You're playing on the biggest field in sports, and you got crazy little cheaters running all over the place, and they got one ref.
I think there's like 2. I think
there's more than.
They got a couple of guys to call offsides, but they got one ref. Why don't they have another ref out there with them? Tell me that, Declan.
Those red and yellow cards are expensive.
That's
to
Jonathan
print,
Harrison, Pat.
Jonathan Harrison's the soccer. Pat, I know nothing about soccer. I really don't.
Declan just looks like a guy who probably likes soccer.
I look like a guy who's a loyal MNUFC season ticket holder. I'm surprisingly not in this outfit.
And with those glasses, you really do now, Declan.
Yeah.
I was going through I was looking for something in my contacts, and I ran across Jonathan, and he's still got a big star there as my contact for any personal crisis. So I texted him and said, if I'm arrested for this, remember they're going to be calling you. Come and bail me out.
Wait, of everyone in your phone, like Jonathan is.
It's been like this for like a year and 2 years.
For like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, somehow Jonathan Harrison became my personal.
Pat, may I suggest at
Dead on the street.
No offense, Pat, that your contact not be some guy who lives in like East St. Louis or something.
He lives in like Iowa.
I know.
Like Belt, yeah.
Right. So if Pat,
I collapse on Hennepin Avenue, they're going to have put the sheet over me for about a week before Jonathan can make it.
He'll mosey on into town on horseback.
Jonathan,
hey partner,
claim the body.
Where's Reusse, partner?
Yeah, we need someone to identify the body. Jonathan's got to hop on a flight. Hold on.
Flight? I said he's got a horse.
It's too good to change it, actually, because it's I'm sure there's something I can do to make someone else. But I was going through there one day and a big red star next to his name. I said, "The hell?"
I love how you haven't changed it in 2 years, Pat.
personal contact. Yeah, he's my guy, man. He's responsible for
Ride
me.
or die. Ride or die with Jonathan Harrison.
We think he has dementia and he has to be hospitalized. Okay. Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
I'll
What
be
should
there
we
in a month.
do?
Hopefully things improve.
Oh,
right,
man. All right, Pat.
What,
We'll see.
what is it? There was something else on my. LeBron is coming to town Friday. Do you know that? And they're
Yeah,
not tipping off
ESPN.
till 9 something.
They moved it for TV, 9:00 Friday night.
But which means 9:15, right?
Yeah,
Probably. Yeah, they
generally
got the first
speaking.
game. Yeah.
But that's too bad because it's got to be near the end, doesn't it?
Well, he's back to putting up like regular triple doubles again.
I
He had
know.
like 30 points
He
a game.
is since Tiger went kapooey, he's the most amazing athlete of our generation, I think.
I mean,
Him and Brady.
Tiger's playing this
him and
week.
Brady. Him and Brady. Because I mean,
Brady's
it's
off the
20
chart.
years now, right?
Brady's off the chart.
20
Yes.
years for LeBron in that league.
Yep.
He was 18. I don't know if he
Ovechkin,
was ever
LeBron,
18.
Brady, Pat.
Yeah,
Those
it's
three
amazing.
are incredible.
It is. That's true. All right, gents.
All right, Pat. We'll
See
talk
ya.
to
I
you
was
tomorrow.
late. I was.
Oh, we thought we'd have to call Jonathan there and see what happens.
We were waiting
Yeah,
for
just
call
John
an
to
emergency.
call us.
Just call him if you can't get a hold of
Can
me.
you guys go to a welfare check on Reuss's house? I got some weird text about an emergency.
See ya.
All right, that's
Bye.
Patrick Reusse.